Welcome to Super Entrepreneurs Podcast. Today we have with us Oren Dagan. How are you, Oren? Hopefully I pronounced your last name correctly.
Yes, thank you so much, Said, for letting me be on your podcast. Yes, my name is Oren Dagan, and I'm the founder of Crewzz.com.
So tell us more about Crewzz.com. I know it's not a ocean cruise line. I know you're doing some wonderful work in building homes. So can you elaborate more on the name and the company?
Yes. So Crewzz.com is Crewzz. And the goal of Crewzz, the idea, the reason I came with the name is basically you build your own crew. So you pick and choose what you want, but it all starts with the design phase. So we want you to get a visual of what you're gonna get before you even build anything, but not close to what you're gonna get, but the exact of what you're gonna get. And you're gonna be able to change on the design phase. You're gonna be able to change finished material and to see how it's gonna look and how much it will cost you before you even hire anyone to do the job. That's the main reason of Crewzz. So I've been in the design building industry. It is a platform that you scan your room. You work with our designers to design your own room based on the questionnaire that you fill up. You can pick and choose your finishes, and you're going to get, from there, you can go into different steps. You can work on budget. You can work on the construction. You can hire a professional. There are so many steps that you can do, but it all starts with the foundation of a great design. Without a great design and detailed design, you're going to be led to a chaos, which we don't want you to have. This is the whole purpose of Crewzz.
So is this in every country or is there any restrictions?
So we just launched last month. So right now we're only doing it in California. Thank you. So we're only doing it in California now, and next year we're going to go nationwide.
Okay, very good. So right now, when someone wants to build a home, they would hire an architect and they would put everything together before they break ground, for example, correct?
This is correct. However, most architects, what they focus on is to get you the permit, right? The city permit, so you can get all the paperwork needed to build the house. We focus on your needs, what the homeowner needs, and things that you don't even aware of. So we're taking the architects, we're taking the interior designer, we're taking the landscape designer, we combine them all together, and we ask the right questions to be able to design what you need versus what we believe you need. So we want to know what you need, what you want, but also to deliver what you need. And this is based on your needs, because if you are a young family with little kids, it's a different needs that if you are retired now when your kid just left the house or went to college. So there's different needs. The first thing that we want to know is the big why you want to do what you want to do. If you're doing it for comfort, you're doing it because you need to, you save all your life, and this is now that you want to have, on your last few years, you want to have a new house. Everybody have their own needs, and we want to know the why first.
Very good. So architecture, hiring an architect, for example, from what I'm understanding, is more towards permits, legality, making sure everything is done by city requirements. But your platform, they're basically they're separate, right? Like, so for example, with your platform, they'll get the idea out in front of them. They will still go and hire an architect, but this is just to understand what they're doing with this property.
So you can hire your own architect or you can use our architect. It's completely up to you.
It's within the platform.
Yes, we're happy to work with anyone. You can work also with your interior designer. We have designers, we have architects, we have engineers, everyone's in-house, but you can still use your own.
Okay.
We want to make sure that if you want to use the Crewzz platform, there is a certain areas that you have to work with. Now, some architects are better than others, and some will think about you before they're going to think about the city, and some just, hey, what do you want to do? You tell me and I'll do it. and we're trying to remove the bad apple and just focus on the good, so we can
Good.
actually, because if you start the design phase right, then the rest of the process can be better and better and better. But if you start it wrong, you're going to be lead to very bad experience.
Mm,
And
very
we
good.
want to try to save it to you.
Mm, that's
The
great,
platform
Oren.
that we have, it's think about it, step into the future. You can see the end results before it's even built. Now
And
we
not
have the options
just,
to put the VR, and you can actually walk into your
oh,
house
wow.
and select the finishes. Or if you can do it just from a computer, you won't see it in a VR, but you can still walk in your house and see exactly, okay, how this room gonna look, how that room gonna look, what colors,
So,
what's the different in pricing.
So, Oren, basically, it's an all-in-one platform. Even when they need paperwork for the city, for architect, licensed architect, it'll be stamped paperwork. They can just simply take it to the city, get their permits. They don't really need to go anywhere else. They can stay within Crewzz from start to finish. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes, we can do. That depends on the package you're gonna choose. We can even. You don't need to go to the city. We'll go for you.
Oh,
But you can decide what you need. This is the beauty on Crewzz, that you pick and choose what you need. You can just do the design and say, hey, I'll do it with somebody else. Or I want Crewzz to manage everything for me, and we're gonna
yeah.
get our certified contractor that been trained by us by our system, and we manage your entire projects. We were not gonna do construction, but we are managing and responsible for them. So if
Okay.
they're gonna
So,
run away, we're gonna responsible to pay the other guy to come and finish the job.
So they can use a client can use the workers that are basically partnered with Crewzz, which you verify and you protect the client because you're providing that service. But if they have their own crew, or if they have certain people that they like to work with, they can ask them to kind of sign up on the platform so they can use them, or they would just go outside of the platform and work with them.
So we only gonna be responsible for whoever been trained by us and certified by us, but we can give all the tools for you. If you said, yeah, let's say you have your own contractor, we're gonna
Yeah,
give you all the information you need so you can have a successful projects with your
good.
clients. Our goal is the clients to have a best experience possible. I believe
Yeah.
that your home is your castle. This is your protection. You need to have certainty in your own home. Today
Yeah.
days, when you hire a contractor, there is a lot of uncertainty, and in most cases, there is a big and not a good experience, I will call it. And we want to make sure that you're going to have the best experience when you're remodeling in your home. Because most people invest all their money, most of the money they save in their life to have a nice home.
Mm.
Some people can afford more than others, but we don't care how much money you have. We want to give you the entire service. If you have $1 million remodeling, if you have $50,000 remodeling, it's all the same.
Is it ground up construction as well?
Of course, yes.
Mm.
It's ground up. It's easier than remodeling because
Of
nothing is
course.
exists. So you just try
Yeah.
and being
How
creative from the
did
beginning.
how did you come up with this idea, Oren? Because it sounds fantastic.
Yeah, so I've been in the design build for the last 15 years, and I've been dealing with clients many times. I have many stories. I made a lot of mistakes in the beginning too, and I just learned from that. And today, in the past 2 years, we've been testing Crewzz under the my other company, which is a typical design build, just to see the feedback and see, and the results are more than great. And we decided, I asked myself the questions: how can I reach more clients? How can I go nationwide? How can I get worldwide? And I had to come and to create it as an high-tech company instead of a construction company, and to partner up with more, because there's very good contractors out there. You just don't know about them, or there's very few out of many that have the bad name because of the others. So we want to take the best, put them under one platform, and start to give them jobs away, as long as they're working according to our system that we built. I took 15 years of questions and answer, and we just basically the entire platform, it's based on questions. You get better questions, you get better answers. So we want to give you, we're going to ask you questions and another question, another questions. Every question is going to lead to a different answer, and this answer going to give
Dynamic.
you different, exactly. So we're going to be able to provide you with what you need versus what we need. Think about
Mm.
Crewzz is the general contractor from the homeowner side. So I'm there to protect the homeowners against the contractor.
Okay. Okay.
They can
It's
trick
like
you, they cannot
a
trick me.
barrier of protection.
Exactly. So this
That's
is
good.
exactly what Crewzz is. Crewzz is the
Yeah.
barrier of protections. And also, we're also protecting the contractor because if
Yeah.
you contractor does a good job, we want to make sure that the homeowner will pay. So we're
Yeah.
protecting both sides, and we're just making sure that everyone's do what they decided to do.
Yeah.
And in
And
different
we
words, this is on the design, it means this is included. It cannot be saying, "Oh, this is not included. I was not aware." The design is super
yeah.
detailed that we know where the paper toilet holder gonna go. There's no
Yeah.
assumptions. Everything is clear and known.
Yeah. There's a lot of horror stories with contractors, but also I don't feel like it's fair just to kind of say it just to contractors, because sometimes it's the consumer side too, right? They're not clear with what they want, and then they go back, like the example you just said, right? That this was part of it, and they say, well, no, it wasn't, right? So it's this platform, from what I'm understanding, it documents everything so clearly that it avoids any finger pointing, because once you get into finger pointing, because this is such a precious dream that you mentioned, you're building a home. Some people work their entire life, and if they can make sure there's no finger pointing, and that level of calmness in the project and clarity goes a long way, both sides, right?
I have to say something. So
Yeah.
a lot of people say the contractor is not good.
Yeah.
In most cases, from everything the research that I did, and I've done a lot of research,
Yeah.
it's most of the time it's not that because the contractor is not good. It's the
Yeah.
communication skills. The
Yes, that's what
contractor
I'm
know what
saying.
needs to be done. The homeowner is
Hmm.
doing it one time in most cases. He doesn't know what to expect,
Hmm.
right? And the
Yeah.
contractor, yeah, he show up, he doesn't show up, he's waiting on material, and he assumed that the homeowner is gonna know. He doesn't.
Hmm.
And if
Yeah, the
with the
communication is
platform we
big.
have everything is communication, communication. So you know as the homeowner at any given time exactly what's going on in your job site by just open the app. You
Hmm.
open the app, you know
So,
exactly what's going on,
and
and we build the communication there from scratch. So we're making sure that
very
everyone
good.
is clear. We give the contractor account representative that can manage his side of communication, and we give the same one to the homeowner. So they're always connected.
Is there an app for it as well?
It's in the process. It's going to be launched sometimes next year, first or second quarter of 2023.
Very good. Very good. And for a contractor that wants to join your platform, what are the steps? They just contact you?
So right now we only by invitation only. So we
Okay.
take in few. So we testing to making sure that how
What if it's
everything works.
someone from our audience
Well, he can just contact me. Go to Crewzz.com and contact us,
and just say
and
you
I'll
heard
be
it here?
more than happy
Yeah.
to check with them if it's the right fit.
Yes.
But we want to take
Good.
only few right now to
Of
make sure
course.
that everything's
Of
working
course.
good, and before we
Yeah.
open it to the public in the first quarter of 2022.
Yes. No, it sounds exciting, Oren.
It
I love this
is.
stuff. Yeah, I love this. I love the ideas that human beings are coming up with, and you being in the industry and you saw a problem. And that's the key part of entrepreneurship, right? Is you want to not be chasing money. You just want to be finding solutions. You want to be a solution finder for problems, right? So you see a problem, you see a solution, and then go that route. But of course, you need the proper mindset, the proper foundation, because business is not easy, right? It's not like we see people successful like yourself. We say, oh, that was, it was easy for him. He worked for his experience. He started a platform, no problem. But you must have gone through failures in the past as well, right,
Oh,
Oren?
yeah, many times, many times. I mean, even
Yeah.
Crewzz with something that we're working for the past 4 or 5 years, and
Yeah.
probably without COVID, it will not come out because COVID gave us some time sit at home, and I was just drafting and creating, and so COVID helped me to push things forward. But
Yeah.
it's in the idea for 5 years that I've been thinking, and I know there is a big pain and a big gap in this industry And I never understood how come 1,000 years business is still acting as 1,000 years old, right?
Mm.
Like this is your home, this is your castle, this is your protection, this is your family. How come people abuse it so much
Yeah.
without intentions? In
No.
some cases there is intention, but in most cases there is no intention to abuse that. It just like I said, it's communication
Mm.
and asking the wrong questions or not asking questions at all.
Yeah. And especially asking the right questions is everything, right? When you ask the
Oh
right
yeah,
questions, you get the right information, you can help the client much better. And if you actually streamline that whole process, you just made life easy for everyone that's involved in that project, right? So it
correct.
is a gap, is definitely a gap, because when you're building, you feel overwhelmed, right? There's so many different angles you have to cover, wear so many hats. And it's great that you came up with this idea, because it brings clarity to all angles.
Yep. It's asking the
Yeah.
right questions at the right
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And we do offer packages that cost nothing for some homeowners that want to do it themselves, and they're just going to get our tools. They're going to get the list of questions, and you can do it on your own. Not
Uh-huh.
everyone can afford Crewzz. It's much cheaper than any design services that you're going to get. It's about 10-15% the cost. It's not 15% off, it's only 15% of usually the cost of typical design build construction
Because
company.
it's more software driven, and it's mass production, right? Is you're looking at,
Yes.
yeah, helping a lot of people. That's
Instead of to
wonderful.
work 5 clients, we want to work with
Yeah.
5,000, 50,000.
Yes.
This is the
Yes.
goal. So we can much lower, you're going to get much more value. It's much faster. And same thing we want to do with the construction. We have a budget concierge that we're going to focus. Hey, your budget is a certain amount. We want to make sure that you are within this budget, and you don't go because there is a lot of change orders in construction. We want you to be aware of everything.
Wonderful. So, are you able to share with us what your innermost superpower is that got you to this point in life?
I think it's understanding the human psychology. See the research that the pain on the industry, asking the questions, talking to your owner, talking to business owner, talking to contractor, and to see where the gap is. And I think understanding the psychology and make it simple, because my goal is to make it simple. Simplicity is a key, and I want to make sure that it is, I would call it dummy proof, that every child can use it, that it's really, really simple to be used, and there is no questions about, oh, this is included, this is not included. So again, understanding the human psychology and making things simple. This is my inner power, I would say.
Yeah, that's
If
great.
that
That's
makes
wonderful.
sense.
Yeah, so that means you're going to continue to develop new things.
Or till God have different plans for me. This is my job.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are you looking at this in the next 5 years?
Well, we want to take Crewzz nationwide. We want to make sure that it's going to be like, Uber today, like,
Yeah.
Airbnb today. We want you to know Crewzz. For any time you think about design or build or service or anything, that you're going to go only to one website. So
Is
it's
there
going to
any
start
other
from the design, and it's going to lead you all the way to
beautiful? Yeah.
360.
Is there any other company that's doing what you're doing?
There are a few companies that just do the design phase, but
Not this the way you do it.
all of those companies, they focus only on selling you the finished product, by the way, which we do too. So anything that you see on the design, you'll be able to buy. You add to cart and you buy. So you can see anything, if it's a furniture, tile, faucet, anything you can change, or either you can add to cart and buy. So it's also in e-commerce. So the competitors, their focus is just the e-commerce. They don't really care about what's coming after they
Mm,
buy. For us, this is the starting point. From here, we're just going to take it forward. Versus the competitors, they do the design, this is where it's at.
yeah.
So
And it seems like more relationship based as well
we want to be sure that you are safe. Like I said, we are the barrier in between and the protection
for both
to protect
sides.
the homeowners. And since we come with all this knowledge, we want to make sure that you are fully protected.
Wonderful. Well, this is great. Oren, I really appreciate you taking the time to come on our show, because this is what we live for. This is what we do. Like, this is when I wake up, I'm actually thinking, what idea am I going to hear today? What am I going to,
Yeah.
what is it going to, what story is behind someone's life right now that's making an impact on other people's lives, right? So, and when I come and I meet people like you and see the creativity that seeps out of human beings, and you put something and create something, is just, there's no words to explain it. So this show is based on this, and I really am grateful that you came on this show.
Thank you, Said. I appreciate your time.
No problem, Oren. Thank you. And audience, once again, amazing to have you part of this episode. Please share, check out Oren's information in the show notes. Check out the platform. And, if you're looking at a project, or if somebody's looking at a specific type of project that they want to get done, they're just in a thought phase, feeling overwhelmed or confused, or someone who's even somewhat into it, it doesn't hurt to check out what Mr. Dagan has created here. So check that out. Also, I appreciate you guys engaging with our social media. Without you guys, we won't be seeing the growth that we're seeing. So it's much appreciated. And again, thank you once again, Oren, and thank you, audience.
Thank you, Said.